Department of Linguistic Education. I'm privileged to welcome you here, and I encourage you to participate actively and make questions and express your encouragement of the speakers. And I hardly believe that this experience would serve you in your future life, study, and let's begin.
I'm so sorry. We cannot find one thing in our room. Somebody else, or we're double, or we're two teams. Осика, София и...
они не будут.
Они не будут. Тогда нам нужен кто-то, кто поиграет за Dream Team в том доме. Святослав Александрович, вы можете попросить за Dream Team? Очень.
Да, Святослав Александрович,
не умею. Можно кого-то из дебатеров на самом деле.
Кто-то из дебатеров можете поиграть? Хотели поиграть в первый раз? Играйте, пожалуйста.
Максим, простите, пожалуйста, это не согласованное решение, потому что Александра четко сказала, что после игры.
Да, у них был полуфинал.
Они уже обсуждали, не хотели, но, к сожалению, принято сделать.
Нет, не зачета. В смысле, просто
Не
поднять
зачета,
команду
нет,
среди
в
Dream Team.
плане, они сейчас устанут, они сейчас...
Это?
Да.
Тогда Святослав Александрович, что кого вы можете?
Ну,
Тогда замените на суд действия Анну Александровну, чтобы она поняла.
Так, будем надеяться, что не упадет.
We are pleased to start our first round of British parliamentary debates. The motion is this House would ban parents to know their child's sex before the birth, and I welcome the Prime Minister.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this debate and welcome to this side of the House. The motion of today's debate is that this House will prohibit the dominant sex of a child before birth. And for that we have prepared several arguments. The first our argument is that there are countless real situations when this prohibition helped people and saved countless lives. For example, such example is India and China, also some countries of Caucasus. So what happened in India is that most parents wanted to have a child of a male child, and parents who determined the sex of their child before birth and it came out to be a girl, they proceeded to do an abortion. That led to this balance in the number of girls and boys. Even we should mention that it's immoral to, it's not right for people to kill babies only on the fact that they are not the needed sex. And another argument that's worth mentioning is that by this policy of killing child only based on is that it will lead eventually to disproportion of boys and girls in the world. It already happened in China, it happened in India. That's why in India they have this law where couples cannot know the sex of a child before birth, and doctors that will break this law, the doctors that will tell who the child is going to be, they can go to prison after it. So we stand with this idea, and we think that's the right choice to save children. And also talking about this balance between boys and girls. Statistically, boys are born about 106 children and the girls about 100. But when abortions happen and girls are being born less often, it leads to disproportion that boys born more often, about 116, and the amount of girls is around 100. It happened in China, as we can see. China's government already doing certain things to prevent this from happening, because it led to several problems in the country. That now we should all understand that it can happen in every country, and if we remember countries in the east, countries like Armenia, for example, it is happening nowadays, and still couples are killing child only on the basis of their gender. This house believes that it should not happen, as it's not only bad for economy, it's also not right to determine if a child's life is worth it only based on their gender. And we also think that families should love their children without knowing their gender, because families bond on relationships, on love and acceptance, and the gender shouldn't influence the amount of love children receive. That's why families should not know what gender the child is going to be, because it's not the main factor, and this shouldn't determine the life of a child in this family. We stand that the determination of a child's gender before birth should be banned. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The leader of the opposition.
So I would like to present the opinion of the opposition. Actually, the practice of preference of each gender before the birth is not represented in most cultures, especially in European cultures. So, and in such countries as China and India, the age population is mostly is pretty high. It's connected with food supplies that the governments of these countries can't afford to supply their population for have enough food. So and this policy is not relevant. And also, if we want to avoid it, we have to deal with the food supplies. And I think that this
You said that it's connected with food supplies, but not all countries suffer from the lack of food supplies.
But this practice of not saying the gender of child is it's presented in such countries that have problems with food supplies, because China presented such China presented such practice, then they didn't have enough food, and there was some problems with some things. So I don't know. Maybe that's it.
Very grateful to the leader of the opposition. Deputy Prime Minister, your 5 minutes.
I want to continue with this arguments. And I also want to address Kirill's arguments. So first of all, I want to say something about food and how it connects to the gender of a kid. So I don't think it is a right choice to present this argument, because not only men can provide food and resources for the country and the family itself, also women can address this problem. A lot of women work in culinary industry, and a lot of them works in plantations, and so they do a hard work for providing the resources for their country, and also food resources. So I think it is valid for the people to have a child of other sex, like women, and it's not only about the boys. So I wanted to say that we as a people need to have all type of sexes in order to continue our generation, because we, like Greta said, in China and in India there's a lot of boys and and minority of girls. So we see already that in Asian country the demographic we see that the demographic is going down, and politics try to address this problem and say to people that we need newborn child for the sake of your future, and people seem to not believe that demographic is tied to their future. And as I wanted to say, we need girls to continue our generation, to continue our future. We need girls that for our future, for our bright future, I would say. And if we like to live a lot longer on this planet Earth, we need to continue generation that will be prohibited to know the sex of a child, to prevent selective abortions, and I think it's valid country law for China, and I think the politics and the government are doing the right thing on this planet. That's all.
Thank you very much. Next is the leader of the opposition.
Good evening for everyone. I'm Deputy
further opposition. And now I want to give some counter arguments for the Prime Minister's speech and provide you by our arguments. Prime Minister said that there are countless situations when there are about abortion that connected with the situation when parents don't want birth child of female gender. And we don't, no one says that parents will do abortion of birth child of female gender. And even if we prohibit this practice, if we will prohibit to determine gender before the birth, there will be abortion, illegal abortion, and that can't save more lives if we prohibit this practice. Because even if parents can't do this legally, they can do this illegally, and it will be dangerous for women who do this abortion, because it's bad for their health. Well, what can I say more? The Parliament said about disproportion. Well, we think that it's not bad because men, if they don't find a wife or a partner in their own country, they can visit another countries, and it's good for traveling, for changing cultures and know another cultures and find a partner in another country, and maybe it will be good for maybe for another country, but it's still good and for country where there are more men than women. And no, thank you. Argument that family connects with love and good relationships. Well, if family connects with love, people in this family will not do abortion because of the gender, because it doesn't matter what gender what gender their child have. And we think that this problem not such big. It doesn't matter because this problem not relevant in most countries in our world. What? Because our opponents said about China and India. Said about China and India, and our world, not only the China and India, and in European countries there are practice that more people want a girl, because a girl can continue our generations. There are a good thing such a gender party, and I think this gender party is a joyful event for every family. Well, and I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That concludes the
important problem. As said, just participants from government, Prime Minister and its deputy, it's very paramount in China and India because, as they said, there is really a big disproportion in population where boys privilege over girls to 17 members, like there's 117 boys over 100 girls in China, and the same situation is in India. But yeah, you know, it's also not very legal to know gender of a child. But people continue to do it because of their culture, because they want a boy who will inherit all their money and so on, and also no, thank you. And they don't prefer girls because they need to collect, you know, really big trousers for it, for her. So this aspect is really important, but and I think we can change the situation a lot if we will just create this new law. But I want also to say that we need to see also the other aspect of this problem. The situation we are facing now, that is finding out the sex of a baby, still seems to be something that everyone is doing, you know. While the number is certainly high, 80+% of parents want to know the gender of its baby, but it's not every parent. You will certainly ask why they do it. There are plenty of downsides of gender reveal. One crucial pros of this aspect that parents will set certain expectations. You know, they will think of a baby of a certain gender, a girl or a boy, will choose a name for it, clothes, will decorate a nursery, and we will have some gender party, and all their loved ones will give them gifts. They will share their emotions, and no, thank you. Or they will expect this child of a specific gender. But as you know, these scans can be not right in some cases. There is also place for mistake. And if imagine it will happen, it's a mistake. You have a boy, not a girl, or vice versa. It can lead that you really will suffer some depression or worse, a mental breakdown, and it can even lead that you just can't, one parent or you both will not accept this child, and I think it's a really important problem because it's great then we create a special bond with this child, think about its name and so on, but we can actually choose both names or unisex one, and choose some neutral colors for the nursery. Not knowing the gender of your unborn child can actually make you a lot of good and save you from a huge disappointment. Just summing up our speech, we can say that in regards to this controversial issue, our position is strong. Only by prohibiting the determining the child's sex before birth will all parents appreciate the health of their newborn and not its gender. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A member for the opposition.
Can I have a couple of seconds because it's not really.
Sure, you can.
Oh, oh, so sorry. Okay. So it's not really. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, let's go. Hello, I'm the first speaker of the opposition second table, second house, and firstly I wanted to talk about problem in several countries with the illegal abortion and other. Second, I want to say about people's problems and problems of the nation and useless of our de-opening system, because I really want to prove that prove to you that it's useless, and also about the feelings of the parents who really want to have a baby of some one определенный sex. Okay, firstly, India, China, and others examples of destable demography, of disproportional democracy. It's not relevant to any other countries because it's minority, you know, and the problems that works in China and India doesn't seem to us like this will be worse on other countries, such as a big amount of European countries, of the America and others more Eastern countries. Okay, even if we live in this country, it's not a problem of this motion, it's problem of the state, it's problem of the deeply belief of the nation. Because if I have not opportunity to understand, to determine what gender of the boy or girl or the kid I will have, it's not deny the fact that I should have the opportunity firstly to kill my baby after the birth, and it's my problem, and if it's very important to me and if my life depends on it, I actually will do it, but it will be more cruel in our opponent's world because it will be exist in after the birth. And this problem can be solved by just поставлять the food in the countries. It's the big amount of work with the deeply belief of the nation. And if you don't just restrict the opportunity to go to the hospital and know your gender from the nurse or some other doctor, it's not denied the fact that in my village I will go to повитуха and повитуcha says me that you will be a boy or girl, and it also will affect on my mind. It will be maybe in the villages affects more than opinion of the doctor. It's also on health. It's also it's also bad for our system of здравоохранения and others. Okay, problem in the European countries. For example, it's haven't denied the problem. Okay, in European countries, the big amount of people, the majority of people, don't have any point what kind of birth, what kind of gender I will have, just because I love a boy or girls, and it's more classical to me. And the little opportunity which I will lose is just oh, I'm so sorry, I can't have a gender party anymore, and it's just will lead to restriction of human rights to know the children's gender, but especially have no any consequences to us to really prove this motion and involve this system in the states. Just because, no thank you, just because it haven't any, no thank you, sets for us, we have only restriction in European country, and we have a lot of нерешенные problems in other third world country. And also about the expectation from the kid. It's not, again, it's not a problem of the system, because do you understand what kind of it will lead to the person who really wants the определенный gender, just because they don't have any time to recognize that it's not gender what I want. It will be more hardly to us to recognize after this birth, and it's also don't deny the fact that
after the birth, I won't priznать this child. And also, if the main value of our dear opponent's words is the decorations, gender decorations in kids' room, it's not value for us, because our value is human health and really problematic emotions who need more and more attention. Thank you for your attention too.
For contribution, let's continue with the week.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I want to tell some counter-arguments to maintain the arguments of member of the government. And as it was said recently, there seems to be a trend back to keep it in a secret a gender of the baby before its birth. You can say, you can ask why. Well, there are plenty of gender reveals, drawbacks, and one of the downsides of a gender reveal is that it might set some expectations. For example, if you find out that your baby will be a girl, people might think that she will love toys, pink teddy bears, or color and stuff like that. What if she likes playing with trucks and like green color? I want to say that every kid is different, and it's a member to want that. Another possible con is that it takes away the surprise when the baby is born. What I also want to say about is a big disproportion.
Point please.
Yes, please.
How it will change the motivation of the parents who wants accurately one gender to change their opinion?
Could you repeat it, please?
Could I? How it will affect on the motivation of parents to have another gender? Because I already want to one gender, and just the fact that I have the right to determine doesn't affect it.
I think that it's essential for parents to love their parents, and no matter what gender the baby will have. Because I'm sorry, I think that I don't have much arguments.
forced to ask you to begin the speech.
I am already. One, two, three. Okay, hello everyone, my name is Zen and I'm the last speaker of our team. Okay, and now I'm going to make a little result of our game, and I want to start with comparing our case with the case of our leaders of another team of our line. And first of all, I want to tell you about the fact that our case was the ideas which we tell you in our case was more global, and we take the problems for global level, and we told you about different countries, we told you about different problems which causes in these different countries, and we said you about the fact that nothing changed from this system, and that's why our case still being more wide and more constructive. What about?
Okay, you said that your case is more worldwide, but there are countries in which this case can hurt them if we don't reinforce this law, because for European countries or others that you talked about, it won't hurt them to not know the gender, but other countries that may be minority, it will definitely hurt them.
Okay, but we still tell you that the fact that you will know or won't know the gender of your child before, it won't affect on will this boy or girl live or won't, because we already said you that you can also kill your child after his birth, and if it is a real problem for family, it will be no problem to get rid of this kid. And also it is another problem which don't depend on this system of will the system work or won't it work. Also, I want to tell you why we were better than proposition line. Oh my God. First of all, we told you about the fact that stable demography. First of all, it is minority, and it doesn't work in other countries, and it is really the problem of the state, not of our motion, which means that if we will change the system as you want, it will change nothing really, because we still can have these kids or don't have them, and their life won't depend on these changes. Also, we told you about even if we can't go to the doctor and know the sex of the gender of our boy or of our child, we still can go to the village, and our grandmother Pavitushka will tell you the gender, and first of all, it will be maybe some mistakes, and which will lead to really неоправданные kills of our child, and it is also bad for us, it is bad for our medicine, it is bad all in all for our, I don't know how to say, maybe even evolution, I don't know. Okay, and also we told you about the main countries, the most number of countries, like European countries, like some countries of Americas and so on, doesn't have points about gender, because they just want to have a baby, and there will be no problem for them to know, so you will just restrict the rights of people, and
really it will change nothing, just restricts. And also, our opponents told us about decorations for gender's party, but as we said in our last speech, we don't have such value as decoration just for gender party. We have more deep values. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much.